Hello, Golden State Warriors fan. We're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates. First of all, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's crucial for you to stay informed with the news daily. Without further ado, let's get to the news. The basketball world is buzzing right now because it feels like the end of an era for Golden State, and the whispers have turned into roars about Kevin Looney leaving the Warriors. This isn't just any player walking out the door. This is a guy who has been the backbone of the team in ways that never show up on the highlight reels, but always mattered in the box scores and the subtle momentum shifts of games. For years, Looney was the steady hand, the quiet worker, the guy who set the screen so Steph could get open, the guy who battled giants in the paint without ever getting the credit he truly deserved. Fans knew his value. The coaching staff praised his professionalism, and even the media couldn't deny that without his hustle and resilience, some of those championship runs might not have been possible. And now, after all the blood, sweat, and unselfish play, the rumor has crystallized. Kevin Looney is heading to Los Angeles to join the Clippers. It's surreal to even picture him in another jersey, let alone in the same city where the Warriors have had so many epic battles. Steve Kerr didn't shy away from the emotions either, because when a coach loses a player like Looney, it's not just about adjusting rotations or rethinking matchups. It's about saying goodbye to someone who is almost like an extension of the coaching staff on the floor. Kerr always valued high IQ players, guys who didn't need their hands held every possession, and Looney fit that mold perfectly. The coach could trust him to make the right read, to box out when it mattered, to sacrifice personal glory for team success. So when Kerr spoke publicly about Looney's departure, you could hear the respect, the gratitude, and even a touch of sadness in his tone. He wished Looney happiness with the Clippers, as if sending off a family member who had grown up in the Warriors system. This wasn't your typical, rehearsed farewell. It was heartfelt, it was genuine, and it was layered with the weight of years spent battling together in the trenches of playoff basketball. Kerr knew he was losing more than a center. He was losing a piece of the Warriors' soul. And what makes this story even more intriguing is the way the locker room seems to be absorbing the shock. The Warriors have been defined by continuity, by keeping the same core together while other franchises scrambled to reinvent themselves every season. Looney was part of that glue, someone who bridged the superstars with the role players, someone who never complained about minutes or touches, but always delivered when his number was called. Younger players looked up to him, veterans leaned on him, and everyone in between respected him. Now those same teammates are left to wonder how different life will feel without him anchoring the paint, without his calm demeanor when the storm of competition got wild. You can almost feel the uncertainty hanging in the air, as if the Warriors are about to step into uncharted territory, not just tactically, but emotionally. Losing Looney isn't just a basketball move. It feels like a cultural shift, a reminder that even dynasties aren't immune to the slow erosion of time and change. The Clippers, on the other hand, are rubbing their hands together because they know they're getting a player who doesn't just bring skills, but also championship pedigree. Los Angeles has often been accused of lacking that gritty, selfless DNA that fuels deep playoff runs. And in Looney, they see a chance to change that narrative. He's not going to drop 30 points or become the face of their franchise, but he's going to bring balance, stability, and a winning mentality that might be exactly what they've been missing. Imagine him setting those rock-solid screens for Kawhi or Paul George. Imagine him crashing the boards when the game is on the line. Imagine him mentoring younger bigs who have never experienced what it takes to win on the biggest stage. The Clippers are betting that Kevin Looney's quiet greatness can tilt the margins in their favor. And given how unpredictable the Western Conference is shaping up to be, those margins could mean the difference between another early exit and finally reaching the promised land. Fans, of course, are divided because loyalty in sports is always complicated. Warriors fans are heartbroken, seeing one of their most beloved unsung heroes head to a rival they've battled countless times. For them, it feels like watching a trusted soldier switch uniforms and march with the opposition. Yet at the same time, many supporters are genuinely happy for Looney, understanding that this is part of the business and that he deserves to chase new opportunities, new challenges, maybe even a bigger role than he ever had in Golden State. Clippers fans, meanwhile, are over the moon, flooding social media with excitement, already imagining what Looney's presence could mean for their playoff dreams. Rivalries add spice to the game, but respect for players like Looney transcends team colors. The conversation online reflects that duality. Heartbreak and gratitude on one side, celebration and anticipation on the other, all centered around a man who never sought the spotlight, but always earned it. The legacy of Kevin Looney in Golden State is secure, regardless of what comes next. He may never have been the star, but he embodied the values that define the Warriors' dynasty: unselfishness, resilience, toughness, and a relentless commitment to winning. Years from now, when fans look back on the banners hanging in Chase Center, they'll remember the splash of Curry, the fire of Draymond, the elegance of Clay, but they'll also remember the quiet battles won in the paint by Looney. They'll remember the rebounds he snatched away from bigger names, the defense that saved possessions, the moments when his effort turned games. And maybe that's why Steve Kerr's farewell hits so hard. Because it wasn't just goodbye to a player, it was goodbye to a symbol of what made the Warriors special in the first place. As Looney packs his bags for Los Angeles, he leaves behind a legacy that won't be measured in points per game, but in the countless ways he helped the dynasty stay alive. What people are whispering now is how much Steve Kerr's words actually reveal about the behind-the-scenes dynamics of this team. Some insiders are suggesting that Kerr's farewell to Looney wasn't just a polite send-off, but also a message to the front office, a way of signaling frustration that a player so vital to the Warriors' fabric couldn't be retained. It's no secret that Golden State has been dancing around the edges of salary cap restrictions, making tough decisions every offseason, but letting Looney go feels like more than just a financial move. It feels like a shift in philosophy, almost as if the team is reluctantly acknowledging that their dynasty is truly entering its twilight. Kerr knows how delicate that balance is. He's been the architect of blending stars and role players into one of the most beautiful basketball systems ever seen. Losing Looney might not sink the ship, but it does force everyone to admit the waters are getting choppier. And maybe, just maybe, Kerr wanted to highlight that this wasn't just business as usual. This was a goodbye that carried the weight of inevitability and the pain of seeing a foundational piece walk away. The Clippers, meanwhile, are quietly thrilled to play the role of opportunists in this story. For years, they've been the little brother to the Lakers in Los Angeles, constantly battling for relevance, often underachieving despite flashy rosters. Bringing in Looney doesn't solve all their problems, but it sends a clear signal. They're serious about adding players who know how to win. There's something about having a guy in the locker room who can look his teammates in the eye during tense playoff moments and say, "I've been here before and I know what it takes." That credibility can't be bought. It has to be earned, and Looney brings it in spades. Clippers fans are already dreaming of lineups where Looney stabilizes the defense, sets the tone physically, and gives Kawhi and George the space to shine offensively. It's not a move that dominates headlines with fireworks, but it's the kind of under-the-radar signing that could redefine a season. In a city obsessed with star power, the Clippers may have found their X factor in the form of a player who doesn't crave attention but will make everyone around him better. And don't underestimate the emotional fallout in Golden State. Fans aren't just losing a player. They're losing a symbol of loyalty, of grit, of everything that made the Warriors' run feel special compared to other dynasties. Steph Curry himself hasn't spoken publicly yet about Looney's departure, but you can bet he's feeling it deeply. These two shared the floor in countless defining moments, from Western Conference slugfests to NBA Finals classics, and Looney was always there doing the dirty work, so Curry could do the dazzling work. Draymond Green, too, must be processing the shift because Looney was often his partner in the trenches, helping shoulder the physical toll of guarding bigger opponents and protecting the rim. It's one thing for fans to feel sentimental, but when the stars themselves feel that emptiness, that's when you know a departure truly cuts to the core of the team. Golden State will move forward, of course, because that's what franchises do, but the echoes of Looney's absence are going to linger in that locker room long after the headlines have moved on. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. Speculation is already bubbling about how this move could tilt the balance of power in the Western Conference. The Warriors, already facing questions about their aging core, are now down a crucial piece of their interior defense and rebounding. The Clippers, on the other hand, gain depth and reliability in an area where they've often struggled. Rival teams are paying close attention because sometimes it's not the blockbuster trades that swing the playoff picture, but the subtle, smart additions that reshape matchups. Imagine a playoff series between Golden State and Los Angeles next spring, with Looney battling against his old teammates. The narrative writes itself. The unsung hero turned opponent, the man who once sacrificed for Curry and Thompson, now throwing his body around to deny them second chances. It's almost cinematic, the kind of subplot that makes basketball more than just a game. If this rumor becomes reality in the postseason, the drama will be electric, and every rebound, every screen, every hustle play by Looney will feel like it carries the weight of betrayal and redemption all at once. But as always in sports, timing is everything, and Looney's exit coincides with a moment when the Warriors are desperately trying to balance honoring their legacy with building for the future. Young players like Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody are expected to take on bigger roles, but the loss of Looney raises the stakes even higher for their development. Without that reliable veteran presence in the paint, the margin for error shrinks dramatically. And while Kerr is known for maximizing what he has, even the best coaches can't conjure leadership and experience out of thin air. This puts pressure not only on the coaching staff, but also on the front office to figure out how to patch the hole. Fans will watch closely to see whether the Warriors' brain trust has another move up its sleeve or whether they'll simply roll the dice with what's left. Either way, it's clear that Looney's departure isn't just a footnote. It's a storyline that could define whether Golden State remains competitive or fades more quickly than anyone anticipated. At the end of the day, Kevin Looney's journey is about more than contracts, rotations, or even wins and losses. It's about the human side of sports, the way players weave themselves into the identity of a team and a fan base, and how their absence leaves a void that stats can't measure. Warriors fans will remember his consistency, his selflessness, his unshakable presence in the chaos of competition. Clippers fans will now get to discover what Golden State already knows, that Looney's impact goes far beyond the numbers. And Steve Kerr's emotional farewell will stand as a reminder that sometimes the quietest departures are the loudest in meaning. As the new season looms, all eyes will be on how both franchises respond. Will Golden State reinvent itself without its anchor, or will the Clippers finally climb to heights they've never reached before, powered by the heart of a player who never needed the spotlight to shine? The rumor has become a reality, and now the league waits to see how Kevin Looney's next chapter reshapes the story of the Western Conference. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.